My name is Cliff Walker, and I'm a co-founder of a communications firm called Seeker Strategies. I like Progress Texas. I've liked Progress Texas for a long time now. I can't believe that you pull off a daily podcast, which is extraordinary and very well produced. And I try to catch it every day. And I'm a voracious consumer of news, and yet still I learn things listening to the podcast. Awesome. God's honest truth. But what I would really love is for progressives to blink and wake up and realize that we can actually win. I think there's this mentality that it's all for naught, that we're a red state, that, that's just the way it is. The first thing we got to do is realize that we got a shot, and we do, and then we should take it.
It's Tuesday, April 29th, 2025, and this is the Progress Texas Daily Dispatch, rapid response on the breaking news stories Texas progressives need to know. I'm Chris Mosier. Texas Republicans seem to try to out-ugly themselves every biennial legislative session, and in the 89th, they're well on track. A standoff of sorts has developed in the Texas House, with both parties issuing threats to kill the other's bills and resolutions. For the Democrats, out of retribution for the forcing through of private school vouchers earlier this month. For the Republican majority, literally just because they can. Kate McGee and Renzo Downey at the Texas Tribune write that a group of Republicans, their names well known to progressives in Texas, Briscoe Cain of Deer Park, Mitch Little of Louisville, Nate Schatzline of Fort Worth, Tony Tinderholt of Arlington, and Steve Toth of the Woodlands, went out of their way to upend a bill from Democratic Representative Aaron Zwiener of Driftwood on white-tailed deer population management on Friday, along with a promise to kill all Democratic bills on the local and consent calendar. Democrats then promised the same, and the Republicans ended up pulling most of the rest of the bills off of the calendar. This approach by the Democrats requires all hands on deck, but apparently not all of those hands have proven reliable. Progress Texas advocacy manager Reagan Stone says the test of Democratic solidarity and resolve came to the House floor yesterday, and at least 8 Democrats voted with Republicans and allowed them to break the Democratic blockade. Among them, Reps Elizabeth Campos, Aaron Gomez, and Oscar Longoria of San Antonio, Joe Moody and Claudia Ordaz of El Paso, Eddie Morales of Eagle Pass, Bobby Guerra of McAllen, and Richard Pena Raymond of Laredo. Reagan says, quote, "We urge you to reach out to their offices, especially those of you listening in their districts. But to all our audience, let's call our state reps and senators and ask if they are blocking every constitutional amendment that won't help working Texans. Let's make those phones ring, y'all," unquote. Gotta say, I got my hopes up just a bit when I saw that a bill known as the Uvalde Strong Act had passed at the House, but then I remembered that we're in Texas. Sarah Al-Shaikh at KXAN TV in Austin says HB 33 passed yesterday. It's designed to establish a clear and unified statewide active shooter protocol in which law enforcement would train alongside school districts to better prepare for active shooter incidents. Republican State Representative Don McLaughlin was the mayor of Uvalde when the May 2022 mass murder of 19 students and 2 teachers at Robb Elementary in Uvalde happened. He's the author of the bill. McLaughlin says, quote, "The bill mandates joint training exercises, clear chains of command, and demands real-time coordination between law enforcement and school districts," unquote. And that's all fine and good, except that it does nothing, zero, to slow the continued proliferation of guns into every corner of life in Texas, including into the hands of teenagers. Republicans and their worship of guns are now creating protocols for the next mass murder at a Texas school, which is an acknowledgement that the next one will come, and the next one, and the next one. We'd prefer meaningful action in preventing the next one, not just making sure there's a uniform response in place, which itself, given the broad disparity of resources found between schools in the wide range of Texas towns and cities across our state, seems to me something that will prove very difficult to actually achieve. Do something about the guns. Anything less is performative patchwork. And while I'm up on my soapbox this morning, let's note that rallies and protests in honor of May Day, the international commemoration of the labor movement and the struggles for workers' rights, started over last weekend and continue this week, especially on Thursday, May the 1st, when all of Texas's major cities will see big gatherings. It's important for all of us planning to attend these rallies to note that one early event in Dallas this last Sunday saw the arrests of two of its organizers. Zachariah Washington at the Dallas Morning News writes that Tarrant County AFL-CIO Executive Secretary Angela DeFilippo and Local 767 Teamster Rick Majumdar were both arrested and charged with obstructing a roadway in relation to that Dallas protest. This is a good time to once again remind everybody attending these rallies that our political opponents are waiting for opportunities to cast us as lawless agitators. And while the urge to take a peaceful demonstration a step further into civil disobedience is certainly tempting and in my personal opinion warranted, doing so at this moment plays right into MAGA's hands. We've seen a huge swell of public opposition to the Trump regime and all that they've been doing. Interest is high in our cause right now, and that's a good thing. But that also provides an opportunity for provocateurs to take advantage of the situation for their own agendas. Have a clear picture in your mind of what your individual participation will be in any rally you attend. Don't allow your passion for the cause to allow others to entice you to do anything unsafe or illegal. The overall conduct of the cause is ultimately dictated by the manner in which each of us comports ourselves individually. And a big protest crowd is an environment in which it's very easy to get swept up in emotion. But remember that first and foremost, you individually are representing the progressive side at these events. And how you go about all this yourself matters not just to you, but to all of us and to all we wish to accomplish. There are individuals in our midst who want to pour gas on the fire and watch it burn. At Progress Texas, we're looking to build, not to destroy. The current opposition is waiting for any justification to crack down on your First Amendment rights. It's imperative that you keep your eyes on the prize. Be loud and be proud, but please don't blow it. See the show notes for information on several of the May Day events happening around the state on Thursday. Not only is voting essential, but voting is fun, and progressive Texans should be voting in every election every time. Today is the last day of early voting for the May 3rd election. Most county websites will have a sample ballot you should grab and spend a bit of time with beforehand. Lots more on voting in Texas at our online resource, which is govotetexas.org. Just 2 days left today, and then Election Day coming up on Saturday, May the 3rd. San Antonio and Austin friends, Progress Texas is proud to welcome San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg as our guest for a live podcast taping at our Party for Progress on Tuesday, May the 6th, and you're invited. We look forward to a long overdue visit to Alamo City. Again, mark that date, Tuesday, May 6th, live pod taping with Mayor Ron Nirenberg, and good fun with you in San Antonio. See the show notes and get your tickets right now. Thanks to Austin Kaplan and the Kaplan Law Firm, Nicolette Ardientes, Shannon Hernseer, Will Judy, Tracy Miller, Jeremy Nelson, Julianne Reeves, Patricia Smothers, Holly Taylor, and more for their generous support of our San Antonio Party for Progress. Our mission at Progress Texas is to counter the conservative disinformation machine, but they far outmatch us in funding. Oil and tech billionaires and religious right-wing activist groups spend a lot of money keeping their audiences in the dark. If you've come to appreciate the light we shine on important political news in Texas on a daily, ongoing basis, please know that our regular, everyday listeners form a key component of our funding. If that's you, we could use your support as a monthly contributor, and no amount is too small. Go to progresstexas.org/donate like Marley McKenzie, Monica O'Neill, and Paul Swan all have lately. We appreciate all of you for joining the team. While you're at the website, make sure and grab the merch to match your progressive values at our web store. You'll see Y'all Means All, Revolution, and our most popular Humans Against Ted Cruz t-shirts there, all union printed right here in Texas. Cool stickers and more, all at progresstexas.org. That's the Progress Texas Daily Dispatch for this Tuesday, April 29th, 2025. Links to all these original stories can be found in our show notes. Progress Texas is a nonprofit rapid response media organization promoting progressive messages and actions. While campaigns come and go, we're the permanent home for progressive media and action in the Lone Star State. I'm Chris Mosier. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow morning.